Hello there and welcome back my fellow pixelators. This is so bad Lucky HD here, and today we're going to be continuing Luffy from One Piece in his current form, the Wano arc form. And as you know, in the last build we complete the entire outline of the build, and today we're going to be moving on to the shading, so we're going to be moving on to the sword. So without further ado, let's get into blocks we're going to be needing for the sword. So first of all, we're going to need our black concrete. Now we probably won't need our gold block, but you know, you can put that all the way at the end of your inventory or something, or just leave it where it is, because we might need it. But for the other blocks we are definitely going to be needing, we're going to be needing light blue concrete. We're also going to need blue concrete. We're also going to need light blue concrete powder. We're also going to need blue wool. And we're also going to need sponge and white wool and terracotta. And that's all the blocks we're going to be needing for today. It's probably better if I just swap this gold block there. There we go. Right. Once you have grabbed all of these blocks, there will be a list on the screen if you didn't have enough time to pause the video or so. But once you have grabbed all the blocks, move over to the sword. Right there, once we've flown over to the sword, you probably noticed that there's dirt right there. Basically, I was explaining it in a different method, but I've kind of come to the realization that it's actually going to take too long to do that. And actually it's probably harder to follow it that way. So we are going to keep these colour blocks, but we're going to do the sword actually. We're going to do the entire outline, but we're going to gradually fill it in to certain points, and then we're going to do all the shading and fill it in certain areas early on to make things as easy as possible basically for us. First of all though, we are going to do the bottom layer. So fly down to the very bottom here. So this area we're going to be starting off here, the very start of the sword. Once we have flown to this area here though, take out your light blue concrete and we're going to place 2 going to the right from here. So 1, 2. Then take out our black concrete and place 1 to the right. From this one that we placed to the right with our black concrete, do an up left diagonal from here. Just like so. From this up left diagonal, place 1 on top, and as you can see, it connects up to here. This little free gap here, we're just going to fill this in with light blue concrete. We'll just fill that in. And this black concrete that is connected up to, this one sticking out here, we're just going to place 1 going to the right of it for now. Just like so. So we should be looking like that right there. Once we have done this though, fly back down to the bottom of this black concrete here. Once we have flown back to the bottom here, take out your blue concrete powder and place 1 to the right just like so. And take out your black concrete and place 1 to the right, and then place 1 on top just like so. Then do an up left diagonal. From this up left diagonal, place 2 on top. So 1, 2. As you can see, the second one in the middle connects to that one that we placed to the right earlier on. Continuing on though, from this one that we placed on top here, do an up left diagonal from here and place 1 on top. As you can see, this one that we placed on top connects to this one sticking out to the right from a previous build where we did the entire sword outline. And now we're going to zoom out quickly and we're going to fill in these 2 gaps here. So this gap and that gap there. So first of all, in this gap here at the bottom with the blue concrete powder, we're going to take out our light blue concrete and we're just going to fill in this gap with light blue concrete. There we go. We should be looking like that right there. And then moving on to this little gap here, this L shape kind of. Well, not kind of, it is pretty much an L shape. Once we are here though, we're going to take out our blue wool this time, and we're going to fill this gap with blue wool. So just fill that in there. And there we go. That little bit there is done. So these parts are quite easy, because we don't have to shade in these parts. But there are other parts that do need shading, but that's all on the right side pretty much. Once we have done this little sector here though, we're going to move back down to the bottom line. So back to these 2 here, the very bottom one here. Once we've moved to this bottom one here, take out your light blue concrete and place 2 going to the right. So 1, 2. Then take out your black concrete and place 1 to the right of it just like so. We're then going to do a up left diagonal from here. And then we're going to place 2 on top. So 1 and 2. Now what we're going to do for now, we're going to place 1 to the right and fly back into the left by 1, so back to this line here. And then place 1 going to the left just like so. Then we're going to place 2 on top from here. So 1, 2. And then going to do a up left diagonal. And from this up left diagonal, we're going to place 2 on top. So 1 and 2. We're then going to place 1 going to the right, fly back into the left by 1, so back to this 3 going up here, and place 1 on top, just like so. Then place one to the left, then place one on top, and then fly up by one. As you can see, it connects to this one sticking down underneath here. We want to fly to this one here, and we just want to place one to the right for now. So we should be looking like that with a one gap in between here, looking like this so far. So there we go, that bit should be looking like that. Once we have done that though, as you can see, where this light blue concrete is filled in here, we're going to fill this entire line here just with light blue concrete. So if we just fill this in. This is probably actually just going to take as long, by the way, but it is so much easier to explain this way. Already going through it, I probably already did more than I did previously, and it's a lot easier to do. But again, I'm going to stop explaining that stuff and just get on with the build. Flying back down to the bottom line, back to this black concrete sticking out here, take out your blue concrete powder and place 3 to the right over here. So 1, 2, 3. Then take out your black concrete and we're going to place 1 to the right. From this one that we placed to the right, we're going to do a left diagonal from here. From this up left diagonal, we're going to do another up left diagonal, just like so. We're then going to place 1 on top, then place 1 to the left. And from this one that we just placed to the left, we're going to place 1 on top. And as you can see, that one that we did place to the left connects to this one that we did place to the right, sticking out earlier on. But flying back up to the one that we placed on top here, we're going to place another 2 going up from here. So 1 and 2. Then we're going to do an up left diagonal from here. From this up left diagonal, we're going to place 1 on top, then place 1 to the left. As you can see, we connected there. But once we connected it there, fly back to the right by 1, so back to this edge here, and place 1 on top, just like so. We're then going to do a up left diagonal from this one on top. Then place another 1 on top of this up left diagonal, just like so. Place 1 to the left. As you can see, we connected that one sticking out to the right earlier on. But fly back into the right by 1, so back to this line here again. And we're going to place 2 on top on here. So 1, 2. And then we're going to do an up left diagonal from here. And as you can see, this up left diagonal just connects up to this one sticking out to the right, as I said, that we did previously in the entire outline. Once we've done that, zoom out quickly, and now we're going to fill in these areas. So starting from the bottom, this area here, we're going to fill this in with light blue concrete. So all of this is just filled in with light blue concrete, this small area here. Then moving on to the next area, this area here, take out your blue wool, and we're just going to fill this second area with blue wool. Just fill all of it in with blue wool. There we go, that area should look like that. Once we've done that, moving on to this next third sector here, take out your light blue concrete and fill this sector in with light blue concrete. There we go. Then moving on to the final fourth sector, this sector right here, we're going to fill this in with our blue wool. So take out your blue wool and just fill in this sector here. And there we go. Once we've done that sector there, once again we are going to fly back down to the bottom. So back down to this bottom, right, black concrete diagonal down here. Once we are flying back down to here, we're going to take out our blue concrete powder and we're going to place 6 going to the right from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. As you can see, these 6 just connect all the way to the end of the black concrete at the bottom here. Now once we've done this, we're going to fly up to this black concrete here. Once we've flown up to this black concrete that's just above the blue concrete powder like so, take out your black concrete and we're going to place an additional 3 sticking out to the left from here. So 1, 2 and 3. We're then going to do a up left diagonal from here. Now from this up left diagonal, we're going to do another up left diagonal. From this up left diagonal, we're going to place 1 on top, just like so. So as you can see, that's like a 2 going up. Once we've done that, do another up left diagonal from here. From this up left diagonal, place 1 on top. We're then going to place 1 to the right, and flying to the left, so back to here, and place 1 to the left, just like so. We're then going to place 2 on top. So 1 and 2. We're then going to do a up left diagonal from here. From this up left diagonal, place 1 on top. Then place 1 to the right, and fly back into the left by 1, so back into this corner here, and do an up left diagonal from here. And there we go. From this up left diagonal, we're going to place 3 on top. 1, 2, and 3. We're then going to do another up left diagonal from here. As from this up left diagonal, place 1 on top. Then do another up left diagonal from here. And from this up left diagonal, we're going to place 3 on top. So 1, 2, and 3. As you can see, we connect up to this one here. But from this third one that we just placed on top, we're just going to place 1 to the right, just like so. So as you can see, there's 2 gap above it, just like that basically. Once we have done this though, we're going to zoom out and have a look what we've done so far. So this is the line that we've done so far. So, what are we going to do with this line? This is going to be filled in with light blue concrete, but there's also a bit of more blue concrete powder in. So first of all, we're going to, with our blue concrete powder, we want to fly to the bottom here, where we previously placed these 2 sticking out here with the 6 going along in total. And once we've flown down to here, starting from top of this black concrete, we're going to place 1 blue concrete on top. So our blue concrete powder on top, right there. Once we've done that, place 1 to the right, and place 1 on top, fly back down by 1 and just fill that gap in there. And there we go. That's what we should look like right there. Once you've done that, take out your light blue concrete and fill in the rest of this gap going up here. So we're just going to fill this in. Again, I'm not going to cut any of this out because it's a lot easier if I keep this in. Not to mention it's not that much filling in either. Only the top of the sword's probably the longest part. And there you go. As you can see, look at that. We're already done. And there's that little sector there. Now once we're done this, we're going to move on to the next area. So we're going to be going to the right and kind of side now. So this first one that's sticking out to the right where we just went with our black concrete just previously filling in. So we want to fly to this one right here. And once we've flown to this one right here, we want to place 5 going to the right from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. As you can see, when you place 5 black concrete going to the right here, it just connects back to that one sticking out to the right from where we did previously, connecting all these lines down. Once we have done this, take out your blue concrete, and we're going to fill in this gap here with blue concrete. We'll just fill this in here. And last line, there we go. And look at that. There's that little part of the sword there done. Once we have done that though, we're going to move on to the next one that we placed sticking out to the right on this black concrete line here. So once again with our black concrete, fly over to this line here. Once we've flown to this one sticking out to the right here, we're going to place another 2 going to the right from here. So 1, 2. We're then going to place 1 on top and fly down by 1 so into this right corner here and do a bottom right diagonal from here. From this bottom right diagonal, place 1 to the right. Then do another bottom right diagonal from here. Then from this bottom right diagonal here, place 3 going to the right. So 1, 2, and 3. And as you can see, we connected the one that was sticking out to the left from previously this line here. And then we're going to zoom out quickly. And now we're going to fill this gap in. So this gap here is going to be filled in with 2 colours. It's going to be filled in with light blue concrete and blue concrete powder. So we're going to start off with the blue concrete powder first. And we want to fly to the very right of it. So the very right edge here of the sword. Once we've flown to this very edge here, with our blue concrete powder, we're going to place 8 going to the left from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. As you can see, there's a 1 gap here, like empty space, which is going to be filled in with our light blue concrete. But we don't need to fill that in yet. Once we have done this blue concrete powder though, we're going to fly in 1 to the right of the 8. So fly into here. Then we're going to place 1 on top and then place 1 to the right. And as you can see, that's what that little area there should look like. And then once you have done that, take out your light blue concrete and then fill in the remaining gaps in here. So fill this one here and right there. And then there we go. That's that little part of there done. As I said, now we're moving on to kind of like whatever it's called, the tilt of the sword or like the handle. And we're going to be filling that in with our terracotta, our sponge and white wood. But first of all, let's outline this first, shall we? So we're going to start off first from this one that's sticking up here that we just placed, just literally pretty much just placed this black concrete here. So fly up to here. Once we've flown up to here, we're going to place another one going on top of here just like so. We're then going to do 2 up left diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. From the second one here, place 2 on top. So 1, 2, and do 2 up left diagonals from here. 1 and 2. From the second up left diagonal, place 1 on top, and as you can see, this one on top just connects to this up left diagonal right here. And now this gap here, we're going to fill this gap in with blue wool. because this isn't part of the tilt, as you can see. So fill in this big gap here just with our blue wool. And there we go. I'm wondering if anyone can see the pattern where we're going within the sword as well. But proceeding on with the build though, we're going to fly to the one sticking out to the left over here. So when we did the sword going down, the very one that's sticking out to the left here that we've previously left off at. So we want to fly over to here. Once we have flown over to here, we're going to place 5 black concrete going to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And do a up left diagonal from here. From this up left diagonal, we're going to place 1 going to the left. We're then going to place 2 on top, so 1, 2. And then do 2 up left diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. From the second up left diagonal, place 2 on top. 1, 2. Then do 2 up left diagonals from here. 1 and 2. And from the second one, place 1 on top, just like so. And do 1 up left diagonal from here. And as you can see, this 1 up left diagonal connects in up left diagonal direction to this another up left diagonal, which connects to the edge of the sword. And there we go. Now we're going to zoom out. So in this little part here, we're going to use our terracotta, and we're going to use our sponge, and we're also going to use our white wool in this area. So first of all, starting off with the terracotta, we're going to fly to the very bottom down here to the right. So fly down to the bottom here. Once we've flown down to the bottom here with our terracotta, we're just actually going to go all the way across to the left until we hit this black concrete here. So just go all the way to the left. As you can see, we hit the black concrete just like so. We're then going to place 1 on top with our terracotta, and then we're going to place 2 going to the left, so 1, 2. As you can see, we're hitting the black concrete again, and then just place 1 on top. And there we go. That's that little part there done. We're now going to do the white wool first to make things as easy as possible. Take out your white wool. And in this little sector here, fly up to the very top in the left side, so this side right here, and this little 2 gap here, we're just going to fill this in with white wool. And then there you go, simple as that. Once we have done that, take up your sponge, and fill in the rest with sponge. Which, I'm sure you're probably wondering, what a weird block to use sponge, but look, it's like just the perfect shade of yellow, and it looks really nice from far out. And there you go. That's that little bit there done. Now, that's a small little part. We are still got about another 2 parts with these 3 colours here. Our terracotta, white wool and sponge. But continuing on with the black concrete, we're going to be flying on the right hand side again. And we want to be going to the next one sticking out to the left. So this one here on this kind of looking like T here. So fly over to here. And then once we've flown over to here, with our black concrete, we're going to place 4 going to the left. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. We're then going to do an up left diagonal from here and place 1 to the left just like so. We're then going to do 5 up left diagonals from here, so 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5. From this 5th one, place 1 on top and do an up left diagonal from here, and then place 1 going to the left just like so. And as you can see, this 1 to the left connects in an up left diagonal direction to this 1 sticking out to the right here. And now we're going to zoom out. Now once we've done this, I think we're going to start with the white wool first this time. So we're going to start with the white wool, and in this gap here, once again we are going to be flying off to the left hand side, and on top of this black concrete here, so this one right here, I'll show you where, it's a bit hard to describe where it is, but the very up left diagonal here, we'll be going to this one on top of here, and with our white wool, we're just going to place 5 on top, and we should connect up to the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and as you can see we connect it to the top, and then there we go, that little part there is done. We're then going to take on our terracotta, and we're going to fly to this bottom kind of this L shape here. So this L shape you can see right here, we're going to go off in that area in the very corner on top of this one here. So I'll place a gold block, we're going to be going off right there, fly back in, and with our terracotta we're just going to place 3 going up from here. So 1, 2 and 3. We're then going to do an up right diagonal. From this up right diagonal, place 2 on top, so 1, 2. Then do another up right diagonal and place 1 on top. And as you can see, it connects to this 2 on the very end of the 2 right here, just like so. Once we have done this, we'll take up the sponge And on the left hand side, just fill in the rest of all this with sponge. But I'm just going to lay this up just so you can see where it's getting split up by, which we should be able to tell anyway, but just in case anyone doesn't get it, we are going to be filling the left side with sponge and the right side with terracotta. So let's fill this in. Again, I'm not going to cut this out because it's just a lot easier doing this way. And it's not too much. It's not like we're filling in the entire body, which for sure I'll definitely cut that out. But for this, it's best to keep it in because it is a complicated part. There we go though, terracotta's done. Now let's fill in the sponge. Why does this sound like placing grass as well? It's definitely the sound of placing grass, am I right? Or breaking grass. Which is kind of weird. But oh well. This really threw me off though, I feel like it should be different. But there we go, there's that little part there done as well. We're now going to be moving on to the very final part with these three colours. And we want to be going to the one sticking out to the right here again, the very bottom one. And take out our black concrete again and fly over to it. And once we have flown to this one though, we are going to place 5 going to the left from here with our black concrete. So, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Then do a up left diagonal. Now from this up left diagonal, place 1 on top, then fly down by 1, so back to here, and place 1 to the left. So we should be looking like that. Once you've done that, we're going to go from the one sticking out to the left first, and we're going to do 4 up left diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. From this fourth one, place 1 on top, just like so, and then do 2 up left diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. From the second one, place 1 to the left, then 1 on top, and then place 1 to the left. And as you can see, this one that we just placed to the left connects in up left diagonal direction to this one sticking out to the right here. And there we go. We're going to do the same thing. Take out your white wool. Once again, on the very left hand side, we're just going to place 2 in this gap here. And then we're going to zoom out quickly. And then we're going to take out our terracotta, fly to the very right hand side, and from the very right hand side, we're just going to go all the way to the left until we hit the black concrete. So just go all the way over, as you can see we hit the black concrete. And with our terracotta, place 1 on top, and then place 2 to the left. So 1, 2, and then there we go. Once we've done that, we're going to take out our sponge, and we're going to fill in the rest of this gap up to the white wool, just like so. Again, just fill this in. And there we go, that's that little part there done. And now, once we've done that little part of the sword, we're now going to be moving back onto our blues, and obviously still the black concrete. Once we have done this though, first section we're going to do is we're going to fly to that one black concrete that we placed going up here. So fly back in towards here. Once we've flown back in towards here, do 2 up left diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. From the second one, place 1 on top, just like so. We're then going to repeat this 2 here 2 more times in a up left diagonal direction. So do an up left diagonal, place 1 on top, that's 1, and then that is 2. And there we go. That should be 3 of those 2s in total, by the way, there, in a up left diagonal direction. So 1, 2, and 3. Once we have done 3 though, fly back in towards the end one here, and do another up left diagonal from here. From this up left diagonal, we're going to place 2 on top. So 1, 2. Then we're going to place 1 to the left, fly back into the right, so back to this corner here, and place 1 on top. Then fly back to the one that we placed to the left, and place another 2 going to the left from here. So 1 and 2. And there you go. As you can see, we connect in a up left diagonal direction from this one sticking down here. Then in this little sector here, we're going to use our blue concrete and our blue wool. So with our blue concrete, and flying over to the right hand side in these little sectors here, we're going to fly this little single gap here. So place blue concrete in that little single gap there, and then this single gap here as well. And then we're going to fly up in a little left diagonal direction, place 1 here, and then place 1 on top. And there we go, that area should look like that right there. Once we have done that though, take out your blue wool and fill the rest of this gap with blue wool. Also, I do apologise if anyone does find this difficult to follow. This probably is one of the hardest ones I've actually done, because it is really hard to explain this, but I do feel like I'm doing probably the best I can at my ability so far. But I do apologise if anyone does get lost with this, but Make sure you just take your time and pause the video at any time you want, because I would recommend it for this. It is quite confusing. Once we have done this though, with our black concrete, we're going to move up to the one that we placed on top here. So fly in towards here. Once we are flown in towards here, we're going to place one on top of here just like so. We're then going to do a up left diagonal. As you can see, this up left diagonal connects to this one sticking out to the right here. Then fly back into here, so back to the right, back to where we just did this up left diagonal, and place 2 on top. So 1, 2. And as you can see, this 2 on top just connects in an up left diagonal direction to this 2 sticking out here. Once we have done this though, we're going to fill in these 2 gaps. So this first gap here, this 2x3 gap, take out your light blue concrete and just fill all of this in with light blue concrete. And there we go. Then this little 2 gap above it, take out your blue wool and fill in this gap here with your blue wool. There we go, that's that little part of there done as well. Then, moving on to the next sector of the sword, fly into this one sticking out to the left here. And from this one sticking out to the left here, we're going to fly in towards here. And we're going to do a bottom left diagonal from here. From this bottom left diagonal, we're going to place 4 going to the left. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And do an up left diagonal from here. From this up left diagonal, place 1 on top. And then do 2 up left diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. From the second one, place 1 on top. Then do another up left diagonal. And from this up left diagonal, place 2 on top. So 1, 2. We're then going to place 1 to the right. And fly into the left, so back into this corner here. And do a up left diagonal. From this up left diagonal, place 2 on top. So 1, 2. Then place 1 going to the right. And fly back into the left, so back into the corner here. And place 1 on top, just like so. We're then going to do a up left diagonal from here. From this up left diagonal, we're going to place 4 going up. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Once we place 4 going up here, we're going to place 1 to the right and fly back into the left in this corner here. We're then going to do an up left diagonal from here. And from this up left diagonal, we're going to place 1 going up. And as you can see, it just connects to this one sticking out here that we previously did earlier on in another part. Once you have done this though, zoom out and have a look at what we've done so far. And there we go. As you can see, that's what we've done so far. Once you've done this, for this little area we're going to fill in, we're going to be using light blue concrete and blue concrete powder. Also, one just quick thing as well, this gap going down here, if you can't tell, just make sure you look up so you can see. All of that there is just air, which should be quite obvious, but depending on the angle, you might think you actually fill in there, because you might think black concrete actually goes somewhere along here, but just make sure you look up, and as you can see, it is just thin air, and nothing goes there. But proceeding on with the build, with our blue concrete powder, we want to fly to the very bottom. And we're going to fly to the very bottom. Once we fly to the very bottom here, just go all the way to the left, so we can hit the black concrete, just like so. Now once we've done this, with our blue concrete powder, we're going to place 2 on top from here. So 1, 2. We're then going to place 1 to the left, then place 2 on top, 1, 2. Then fly down by 1, so to this one here, and place 1 to the left. And there we go, we should be looking like that. So this little sector here, we're going to fill all of that in with light blue concrete all the way up, going up to there. And this little gap here, we're going to fill this in with our blue concrete powder. So we're filling this gap first. There we go, that's that little bit there done. And take out the light blue concrete and fill in the rest here. And almost done, or maybe not. I thought we were done. Right, we're almost done now. There we go, now we're done. As you can see, we don't want to fill that in, so make sure you don't fill that in. I know sometimes people do go overboard, sometimes I've done it myself before as well, so just make sure you have filled that in the right area. Once we have done that though, we are going to be flying to the next area, so we are going to be flying to the next one sticking out to the left over here. So fly back in towards here and take out your black concrete. Once we have flown to this one sticking out to the left here, we're going to place another 3 going to the left. So 1, 2, and 3. We're then going to do a up left diagonal. From this up left diagonal, place 1 to the left, then place 1 on top, then place 1 to the left, and then place 1 underneath. And there we go, as you can see, it's like a 2x2 square. From this one that we just placed underneath, we're going to place 2 going to the left. So 1 and 2. And as you can see, it connects to this one that we just placed earlier on, sticking out to the right here. Once we have done this though, we're going to fill in this gap. So in this gap, we're going to fill it in with blue concrete and blue wool. So let's start with the blue concrete first, and we're going to fly to the very top. And as you can see, this chunky little 2 here, we want to fly on the very left hand side of it, but we want to be in this sector here, and we just want to place 1 underneath, just like so. So I'll zoom out so you can see where we placed that. We placed that right there if anyone didn't get that. But once we have placed 1 there, we are going to place another 1 underneath this one here with our blue concrete, just like so. Then do 2 bottom left diagonals from here. So 1 and 2, and as you can see, this second one connects into the corner of this 2 going up here. And there we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fill in blue wool on the left hand side here. So just fill this in with blue wool. There we go. And on the right hand side, we're going to fill it in with blue concrete. And almost done. There we go. There's a little part there done. This video is going to be extremely long, probably, but oh well. Probably better keeping this long for you to make it a lot easier. Anyway though, moving on to the next area, we are going to be flying over to the 2 sticking up here. So these 2 that's sticking out, you know, this 2x2 square that I said, we're going to fly back to this area again. Now once we've flown back to this area here, we're going to do 2 up left diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. From the second one, place 1 to the left, and then fly back into the right, so back to here, and place 1 on top. As you can see, this one that we placed to the left just connects to that one sticking out to the right earlier on. We are going to fly back to this one though that we placed on top, so fly back up to here, and place 2 going up from here. So 1, 2. We're then going to do an up left diagonal from here. From this up left diagonal, place 1 on top, just like so. Then do another up left diagonal, and as you can see, this up left diagonal connects to this one sticking out to the right here. We're still not done though. We've got to do one more little thing, and we want to fly to this one that it just connected to. So this one technically in the middle, kind of. If you're facing on top, it's the one in the middle. And we're just going to place 3 going up from here. So 1, 2, and 3. And as you can see, this third one that's going up connects in up left diagonal direction to this big line going down here. And as you can see, there's a 3 gap in between here. I'm now going to zoom out so you can see an overall view. That's what we've done so far. We're then going to fill these areas in with light blue concrete and our blue wool. So, first of all, move on to the very first bottom area. This little bottom area here, take out your light blue concrete and fill in this area with light blue concrete. There we go. Now moving on to the second area, this area right here, take out your blue wool. We're just going to fill this in with blue wool. And finally, but not least, moving on to the third area, take out your light blue concrete and fill this area in here. And again, now we're going to zoom out and have a look what we've done so far. As you can see it's actually coming along nicely now if we zoom out. As that was got a bit more space, you actually get a bit more detail while looking at it. Once we have done that though, we're going to fly back into the next one sticking out to the left on the right hand side. So the very bottom one here, fly back in towards here. Once we have flown back to this here though, we're going to place another 5 with our black concrete going to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We're then going to do 3 up left diagonals from here. So 1, 2 and 3. From this third one, we're going to place 2 on top. So 1, 2. We're then going to do another up left diagonal. From this up left diagonal, place 1 on top and then place 1 to the right, just like so. We're then going to fly back into the left, so back into here, and we're going to place another 1 on top. And then from this one that we placed on top, do an up left diagonal from here. From this up left diagonal, place 1 on top, and then place 1 to the left, and then fly into the right, and place 1 to the right of it, just like so. We're then going to fly back to the one that we placed to the left, so fly back to here. And once we've flown back to here, place 3 going up from here. So 1, 2, and 3. We're then going to do an up left diagonal from here. And from this up left diagonal, place 2 going up. So 1, 2. And as you can see, we just connect to the next area, just like so, in an up left diagonal direction to this one that's sticking out to the right here, with the 2 above it, just like so. So we're now going to zoom out. And now this area here, once again, we're going to be filling this in with light blue concrete and blue concrete powder. So first of all, we're going to start off with the blue concrete powder again. So flying to the right hand side, and this time we're going to go off this chunky 2 once again. Really used to this chunky 2. We've gone off it like 3 times now. But fly back into this chunky 2, and we want to fly to the right of it, the very right one here. Once we fly into the very right one here, place 2 blue concrete powder going on top from here. So 1, 2. We then want to place 1 to the right, but as you can see it falls down to there, so just fill in the gap just like so. And there we go, we should be looking like that. So you probably already know what we're doing, but with our light blue concrete on the left hand side, fill it in with light blue concrete. On the right hand side, fill it in with blue concrete powder. So we fill this in here. Also better make sure I don't place one on front of it so it falls to the ground, because that always happens half the time. There we go, that little bit there's done. Take up the light blue concrete and fill it in the left side. Also, while I'm filling this in, I probably already mentioned this, but also while this video is being recorded, I am probably on holiday as well. As in, it's recorded at home, but I'm on holiday probably at this point in time. Well, not probably, I definitely am, but anyway. There you go, that's that little part there done. Moving on to the next part, we're going to be flying over to this one sticking out to the left on the right hand side again. So again, the bottom one here, and fly back in towards here with our black concrete. Once we've flown into here, we're going to place 4 going to the left with our black concrete. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. We're then going to do a left diagonal from here. From this up left diagonal, place 1 going to the left. Then also, I'm just going to make this a bit easier. Take out our blue concrete and just place 1 underneath this one. And then fly back up to the black concrete and take out your black concrete. We're then going to place 1 on top and fly down by 1, so back to this line here. And then we're going to place 2 going to the left. So 1, 2. There we go. So that blue concrete actually makes things a bit easier. So now we've got a nice area to go off, so I don't have to explain it in a complicated way. I should probably do this more often. I'll see if I can do this more often actually. But if I'm doing it like for these areas, it just would be kind of confusing, or be like to memorize where it goes. It'd be quite hard, but for these kind of areas, it's pretty nice. Anyway, though, back on with the build. Enough wasting time. With our blue concrete, we are going to fly to that blue concrete there. For this part, we are going to use blue wool and blue concrete. But flying back into this one, sticking into here with our blue concrete, do a bottom left diagonal from here. From this bottom left diagonal, place 1 underneath, and then do another bottom left diagonal. As you can see, this bottom left diagonal connects into the corner of these 2 up left diagonals, right on top of it, just like so. Again, this is probably quite easy to explain, but the right hand side is blue concrete, and the left hand side of this little gap here is our blue wool. So we're filling the blue wool first, as it's the smallest. Nice little T. And then our blue concrete, fill in the right hand side. There we go. Almost done. I'm just going to zoom out. And there we go. We're then going to move on to the next part of the build. So we're going to be flying to this black concrete that's sticking up here. So, flying towards here. Once we have floated towards here though, we're going to do a left diagonal with our black concrete, just like so. We're then going to place 1 on top. From this one that we place on top, place 2 to the left. So 1, 2. And as you can see, it connects to this one sticking up to the right here, but we're not done yet. Fly back into the very right, so back into the very edge here, and place 1 on top. And then we're going to do a left diagonal from here. From this up left diagonal, do another up left diagonal. And from this up left diagonal, we're going to place 3 going up. So 1, 2, and 3. We're then going to do another up left diagonal from here. And from this up left diagonal, we're going to place 2 going to the left. So 1, 2. And as you can see, we connected an up left diagonal direction to this one out here. But again, we're still not done. We're going to fly it back all the way to the end of this 3 here. So back to the right hand side all the way here. And place 2 on top. So 1, 2. We're then going to do an up left diagonal. And from this up left diagonal, we're going to place 1 on top. We're then going to place 1 to the left. We're then going to place 1 on top. Fly back down by 1. Place another 1 to the left. As you can see, connect to this one sticking out to the right. And fly back to the one that we placed on top here. And place another one going up. And as you can see, this one connects to the bottom right diagonal, sticking out from the left hand side here. And then there we go. There's those little sectors there. So that little one in there is also part of this big sector here, by the way. But for the first sector, we're going to be filling these sectors in with our light blue concrete and our blue wool. So the first sector, we're going to fill this in with light blue concrete. So fill this little first sector in here. There we go. And the next sector, we're going to fill it in with blue wool. So, fill this in with blue wool. And there we go. And this little gap here, we also filled that in with blue wool, by the way. So there you go. And then moving on to the third sector. This sector here is going to be filled in with light blue concrete. So fill this in here. And then finally but not least, the fourth sector, fill it in with blue wool. And there we go. Now we're going to zoom out. So we don't have too many more sectors to do. We've only got a couple more to do now. But once again, we are going to fly back down to this one sticking out to the left here, the very bottom one sticking out to the left on the right hand side. So flying towards here with our black concrete. And once we've flown to here, we're going to place another 5 going to the left with our black concrete. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Then do an up left diagonal from here. From this up left diagonal, place 1 on top. Then do 2 up left diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. From the second one, place 1 on top, just like so. Then do another up left diagonal, and from this up left diagonal, place 2 on top. So 1, 2. We're then going to place 1 to the right, and fly back into the left by 1, so back to here, and do an up left diagonal from here. From this up left diagonal, place 2 on top. So 1, 2. And then place 1 to the right, and then fly into the left by 1, so back into this left corner here, and do an up left diagonal from here. From this up left diagonal, place 1 on top, and then do another up left diagonal from here, and from this up left diagonal, place 2 on top. So 1, 2. And then from this 2 on top, do another up left diagonal from here. From this up left diagonal, we're going to place 1 on top, and as you can see, it connects to this one that was in the bottom right diagonal direction here. And we're not quite done, we just want to fly up to this one that was the bottom right diagonal, and we're just going to place 1 to the right of it. So the very top of the 3 basically, and we should be looking like that. Once we have done that though, we're going to fill in this line here. So once again, in this line, we're going to use our blue concrete powder and our light blue concrete. And again, start with the blue concrete powder first. We're going to fly to the very right hand side. Again, right at the bottom here. And we're going to go all the way to the left until we hit the black concrete. Just like so. We're then going to place 1 on top. Then place 1 to the left. And then place 3 on top. So 1, 2 and 3. As you can see, we connect to this singular up left diagonal in between these 2 up left diagonals by 2 going up, just like so. And once again, on the right hand side, filling in these gaps here with our blue concrete powder. On the left hand side, our light blue concrete. So fill these in here. There we go. And fill in the light blue concrete. There we go. Now we're going to zoom out. And there's that little part there done. We're now going to fly to the next black concrete that is sticking out to the left on the right hand side. So fly back in towards here. And once we have flown back into here, take out our black concrete. And we are going to place another 4 going to the left of this black concrete sticking out to the left. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. We're then going to do another up left diagonal from here. From this up left diagonal, place 1 to the left just like so. Then do another up left diagonal. And from this up left diagonal, we're going to place 1 on top, and fly down by 1, and place 2 going to the left. So 1, 2. We're not doing quite yet though. We are going to fly back up to the one that we placed on top here, and do a up left diagonal from here. From this up left diagonal, place 1 on top, then we're going to place 2 going to the left, so 1, 2. As you can see, we connect to this one sticking out to the right. Still not quite done yet though. Fly back to the very right, so back to this kind of 2 that's going up. Once we've flown back to the very right here though, place 1 on top, and then do 2 up left diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. From the second one, place 1 on top, and do another up left diagonal, and from this up left diagonal, place 2 on top. So 1, 2, and then do an up left diagonal from here. From this up left diagonal, place 1 to the left, then fly to the right and place 1 on top. As you can see, that one that we placed to the left connects to that one that was sticking out to the right earlier on. And then fly back to the one that we placed on top. place another one on top from here, do an up left diagonal. From this up left diagonal, place one to the left, fly back into the right, and then place two going up from here. So 1, 2. As you can see, that one that we placed to the left connects to that one sticking out to the right, and that two that we just placed on top connects in the up left diagonal direction to the very center line. There we go. Now zoom out, and I've only got about 2 more sectors to outline after we fill this in. Actually, it's probably like 3, but we don't need to count. Right, moving on to the next sector though, to fill in these gaps. Starting with the very bottom, we're going to take out our blue concrete and our blue wool for this sector here. We also are going to use light blue concrete in the other sectors going up. But first of all, with the blue concrete, we want to fly to this 2 here. So we want to be flying to this top line, at the very top line in this bottom sector. And we want to fly on the very right hand side here. And we want to place 2 going down from here. So 1 and 2. So I'll zoom out, so we should be looking like that basically. And we should be having a free gap going to the left here. Moving though back onto these 2 that we placed underneath with our blue concrete, do 2 bottom left diagonals from here. So 1 and 2, and as you can see, the second one connects into the corner of the singular up left diagonal with the 2 in between, once again connected back to there, just in a similar pattern. And again on the right hand side, fill it in with blue concrete, and on the left hand side, fill it in with blue wool. So we're filling the blue wool first, nice and easy. There we go. Then the blue concrete, fill it on the right hand side. There we go, that's that little part there done as well. And now, we're going to zoom out. Moving on to the second sector here, we're going to fill that in with light blue concrete. So fill this in with our light blue concrete. And then on the third sector here, take out your blue wool, and we're going to fill the third sector in with our blue wool. And almost done. There we go. And then onto the fourth sector, take out the light blue concrete and fill the fourth sector in with light blue concrete. And finally but not least, the fifth sector here, take out your blue wool and fill this sector in. And there we go. We're now going to move on to the very final sectors. There's still quite a bit to do, but moving on to the very next one sticking out to the left here. In a bottom left diagonal direction on the right hand side, fly in towards here. Once we have flown in towards here with our black concrete, we're going to place 6 going to the left from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. We're then going to do 2 left diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. And from the second one, we're going to take out our blue concrete powder, and we're going to place 1 going underneath. As you can see, it goes all the way to the ground. So just place all the way underneath till it connects. And we're just going to leave it like that for now. And then going back to the black concrete that's on top of it, place 1 on top, just like so with our black concrete. Then do an up left diagonal and place 1 on top. And then do another up left diagonal and place another 1 on top, just like so. We're then going to place 1 going to the right, fly back towards the left, so back in the left corner here. Do an up left diagonal from here. From this up left diagonal, place 1 on top, and then do an up left diagonal from here. And then from this up left diagonal, place 1 on top. We're then going to place 1 to the right, fly back towards the left, so back to here, and place another 2 on top. So 1, 2. Then do an up left diagonal from here. From this up left diagonal, place 2 on top, so 1, 2. And then finally but not least, do another up left diagonal. As you can see, that up left diagonal connects to that one that was sticking underneath here. And then we're going to zoom out. So this sector here is going to be with light blue concrete, and this sector here is going to be with blue concrete powder. One more little thing that we got to do with the blue concrete powder, to this line that is here, we want to fly to this line. Obviously we want to fly to the 2 that's sticking up over the edge here, and we want to place 1 going to the left of this first one that's over the edge. So we should look like kind of like a curve, just like so. So that 1 going to the left is literally just to the bottom of this black concrete here. Once we have done that though, on the right hand side, we're going to fill it in with blue concrete powder on the right hand side, and on the left hand side, fill it in with our light blue concrete. So I'll do the blue concrete powder first again. There we go, and take out the light blue concrete and fill in the left hand side with light blue concrete. And there we go. Now moving on to the next last sectors. I believe there's only 2 more sectors with the black concrete, but like 3 to fill in basically. But moving on to the next ones, to the very next one sticking out to the left, which is this one here. I'm going to fly to this one here, the black concrete. And we're going to place 8 going to the left from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're then going to do a left diagonal from here. From this up left diagonal, place 1 to the left, just like so. There we go, that's that little sector there done. So, we're going to fill the sector in with blue concrete and blue wool. Start with the blue concrete first, fly in to the very top line again here. So the very top line here, but we want to be on the inside here. And we want to be flying to the very right, so right here. With our blue concrete, we're just going to place 5 going underneath from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. As you can see, because we've gone 5 under there, we just connect to the ground of this up left diagonal of the black concrete here. And now, once we've done that, on the right hand side, fill it in with blue concrete, and on the left hand side, fill it in with blue wool. So we'll do the blue wool first, as it's easier. Switch to blue concrete, and then fill this in with blue concrete. Just fill this in. There we go, that's that little sector there done. Now moving on to the last sector with the black concrete. Well, I guess there actually is more in here. How hard to do. But moving on to here. This little gap here, as you can see there's like a 2 gap here. Just take out your black concrete and just fill this in. And there you go, pretty much simple as that. You just place 2 in there and you're done. And now we're going to fill in these next 2 sectors here. Just these 2 here. So this one here and this one here with the blue. And the rest of it is going to be more these colours. The sponge, white wool and terracotta. But our final blue colours. First of all, on the bottom one here, we're going to use blue concrete powder and light blue concrete. So first of all, sticking with the blue concrete powder, fly to the very right hand side. Once we've flown to the very right hand side on the bottom line, just go all the way to the left of our blue concrete powder until we hit the black concrete just like so. Once we've done that, move in 1 to the right from the end here, and then place 1 on top. And then go all the way to the right with our blue concrete powder, and as you can see, we connect to the end just like so. Once we've done that, we're going to take out our light blue concrete, and then we're going to fill in the left side with light blue concrete. I always sometimes mess up saying powder. I mean, you always see what I'm doing, but if I do mess up saying powder sometimes, like I don't say the powder part, I might call it something different. I don't really know what to call it, but yeah, I might call it something different. But we're going to call it powder for now still though. But it's always confusing. But moving on to the next sector though. This little sector here, we're just going to fill this in with blue wool. And that is the last sector of the blue. There we go. Finally, we're almost finished. We're not quite there yet though. But as you can see, that's what it looks like so far. And as you can see, it looks really nice. So that does look a bit nicer than the bottom. The bottom does look nice though. It's just, that's got a lot more space to work with. But now moving on to the very final part and the very tilt or hilt of the sword. We're going to complete this part. So there's a tiny bit more outline than we've got to do with the black concrete, but we'll leave that until we do the shading. So for the first sector here that we're going to shade in, with our terracotta, we're going to move on to this little chunky sector here. So see this black concrete that's going a line right here, or it's thick here with a little kind of L shape kind of, if you minus this here. That was really bad explaining, but to this little thick square here, with our terracotta, just place 1 to the right of here, and then just do 2 right diagonals from here. So 1 and 2. As you can see, the second one connects to this first up left diagonal of the black concrete, and with the terracotta, just place 1 to the right of the top one, just like so. So that was a bit rough explaining, but that is what it looks like in those areas right there. Once we have done that though, we are going to move to the very left hand side again. And on the very left hand side, as you can see this little gap here of 4, we're just going to fill this in all with white wool. And now there we go. Pretty self-explanatory for there. Same as the bottom. Right hand side, terracotta. Left hand side, sponge. So, let's fill this in with terracotta. And there we go. Then we're going to fill it in with sponge. It's going to get slightly annoying on the next part. Actually, it's probably not so much annoying. I guess we'll have to leave the sponge until we do with the terracotta. We'll just fill loading this in first. The sound still annoys me. I don't like it. It just sounds like grass when you place it, dirt when you destroy it. It doesn't sound right, really. Don't know if they just got lazy with the audio file or something there, but whatever. With our terracotta, we are going to fly to this little sector here. This is always a bit annoying because it doesn't connect, which it should be like that, by the way. It's just, yeah, it doesn't connect. But this little sector here, with our terracotta, we want to go on top of the first black concrete diagonal. So this first left diagonal, up left diagonal here, we want to go on the very first one with our terracotta. So fly onto here. And on top of here, we just want to place 3 going up with our terracotta. So 1, 2, and 3. Now it is sponge filling over here with white wool on the edges, but we'll do the terracotta first in this little area. And then we're going to do the white wool, and then we'll do the terracotta, and then the rest of the shading with the black concrete. So on the right hand side, fill this in with terracotta. And there we go. Now, let's move on to the white wool first. So we're going to move to the very left hand side of this 3 here. Once we move to the very left hand side here, we're going to take out our sponge first, and we want to place 1 in the very bottom left corner here. Once you've done that, take out the white wool and place 2 going up. So 1, 2. And with our white wool, place 1 going to the right, then place 2 on top. So 1, 2. Then place another 1 going to the right. And then we're just going to go all the way up to the top till we hit the black concrete, just like so. We're then going to place 1 to the right. We're then going to go up by 3. 1, 2, 3. As you see, we hit the black concrete. We should always hit the black concrete, by the way, going over here. But place another 1 to the right. And place 1 on top. Another 1 to the right. Another 1 on top. And then we're going to place 2 to the right. So 1, 2. And then we're going to place 1 going up. So right now, we're just going to fly down by 1. So back to this white wool here. And we're just going to go all the way across till we hit the black concrete. Just like so. And then this little top gap here, just fill this in with white wool. And fly back down to the right, that hit the black concrete here. And we're going to place 1 going underneath. Then we're going to place 1 to the right. We're going to place 1 going underneath. 1 to the right. 1 underneath. 1 to the right. Place 1 underneath. Then 1 to the right. Then place 1 underneath, and then place 1 to the right, and then place 1 underneath, and then place 1 to the right. And then this time we're going to place 2 underneath when we hit this 2 here, so 1, 2, and then place 1 to the right, and then place 1 underneath, and then place 1 to the right, and then place 1 underneath, and place 1 to the right, and then underneath we're just going to place 3 going underneath. 1, 2, and 3. And as you can see, we hit the black concrete on the 4 in total on the right hand side of the black concrete, going down just like so. And then there we go. Once we have done that though, we're going to fly over to this 2 here. So this 2 black concrete you can see here, we want to be on the left hand side though of it, on the white wool side. And the very 3 kind of going down in total here. So this 2 white wool in total sticking here. We're going to take up the sponge. We want to place 1 going to the left of the bottom one, just like so. Then take out your black concrete and place 1 to the left of it, just like so. So we should be looking like that. Then with our black concrete, from this black concrete here, do a bottom left diagonal from here. From this bottom left diagonal, do a up left diagonal. From this up left diagonal, do 2 bottom left diagonals. So 1 and 2. And there we go. Basically, these are some of the areas we're going off. This is 1 area, that's the 2nd area. That's the 3rd, and that's the 4th. That's part of the 2nd area there. Just had to get to those. So first of all, let's start off with the 1st area. So the one next to the sponge here, do an up left diagonal from this black concrete. Just like so. Then move on to the 2nd sector. So these 2 here. And we're going to do an up left diagonal from here. And then there we go. We're then going to move on to the 3rd sector. So this one right here. And we're going to do 3 up left diagonals from here. So 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to move on to the final sector, the 4th sector here, and we're going to do 7 up left diagonals from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. From the 7th one, place 1 to the left. And finally, but not least, do another up left diagonal. And as you can see, this up left diagonal that we did just connects to the white wall in this little sector here, where there's like the 2 black concrete here, with the 2 white wall going underneath the very first of the black concrete, just like so. And then it connects in a bottom right diagonal direction to the black concrete. Once we have done that though, we'll do the final piece, which is filling in the terracotta, and 1 more black concrete outline as well. And with the terracotta, fly to the very right hand side here. So once we fly to the very right side here, on the top of layer, we're just going to go all the way to the left until we hit the black concrete. So as you can see, we hit this 2 here. Once we hit this 2 here, with the terracotta, we're going to go up by 4 from here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're then going to take out our black concrete and place 2 on top. So 1, 2. And then with our terracotta, take out your terracotta. And we're going to do it up right diagonal from the black concrete, just like so. We're then going to place 4 on top. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And do an upright diagonal from here. And from this upright diagonal, place 3 going to the right. So 1, 2, and 3. Then do a bottom right diagonal from here. From this bottom right diagonal, place 2 to the right. 1, 2. And finally but not least, do another bottom right diagonal. And as you can see, this bottom right diagonal just connects to this black concrete underneath the white wall, just like so. Now I'm going to zoom out. So now for the final areas, you probably already know what we're doing, but the terracotta, we're going to fill the terracotta in this little sector here. Then the rest of it we're going to fill with sponge. Once again, I would just cut it out, but you know what, I might as well just leave it in, because we've left everything in for now, so I'm just going to leave it in. Which is probably going to be a while. If you do want to just pause the video and skip ahead to the end, you can do that if you want. But this has been a really long video, and the funny thing is, we're not actually even on to shading the body. Which, is it kind of sad? Kind of. Because we spent probably, I don't know how long it's been, but it's probably been around an hour and a half on this, so. But I mean, shading always takes long. It's not like we were actually finished with the outline, so that's why this did take a lot longer than usual. But I am glad that I've done it this way. Even though it is long, I do feel like it's been a lot more easier to do compared to the other method that I was trying to do, and if we just did it the other way as well. The only difference is I probably could have done maybe the outline with the black concrete the way I did it today, but it just left the shading out obviously, because I would have been doing it with the rest. But you know, as I said, I'm happy with the way it's turned out. I think I explained this to the best I can. I did lose my voice halfway kind of through this as well a bit, but hopefully it's clear. But yeah, this was definitely a long video, which I do try and keep these end parts short usually. Now that's what I try to do, but you know, I'm not really going to keep explaining it, but this was a weird one, let's just say that at least. I'm feeling the worst sound of them all. Also, luckily we didn't go wrong with the blue concrete powder, which what I mean by wrong, by accidentally placing one to the ground. If you accidentally placed one that fell to the ground, do send a comment, so I would love to know. That is quite funny. It's very annoying, to be specific. Oh, I know we missed that gap, I don't know how we missed this gap here though. There we go. I think that's everything. That's everything. Oh, that took a long time, but well worth it. And as you can see, the final result just looks so nice when it's fully done. Now let's just get a full zoom out. Sorry, just the gold blocks in Luffy's face. And, yeah, I can't really get the text out of the way, but well, there we go. And that's everything so far. So, if you have enjoyed this build, and if this was explained nicely, then feel free to hit that like button and subscribe as well, because that would be much appreciated. And we are really close to 100 subs, so hopefully we'll be hitting 100 subs. I'll tell you this, I might have already hit it by now, by the time this is being uploaded, because I am probably on holiday, but you never know really. Just in case we haven't, go and hit that sub button, because that would be much appreciated. And wow, probably one of the smallest parts on Luffy, and it took an hour and a half, which the other videos probably aren't even going to take that long. God damn it. But I mean, it definitely looks nice. For the next areas though, we're going to be shading the rest. I don't know where we're going to start. We'll probably start with the abs and finish that. There is some areas that are quite easy, like this bottom area and that bottom area is kind of just like the red. That's just like pink concrete. The hair is pretty simple, but there is a lot of shading in here. This is the body is different colours and blocks compared to the face. The face actually uses sand and oak. This uses chiseled and terracotta. But I'm not going to explain enough because this video is long enough. Let's not drag this on. And peace out. Enjoy the rest of your day. And goodbye.